Assalamualaikum, welcome to Farm and Farm, and today we will discuss one of the most important and demanding topic, and the topic name is how to design a tablet formulation. Mean if you are a student or a fresher or a experienced professional working in pharmaceutical industry, but you are not familiar that how to design a basic or prototype tablet formulation, then must watch the complete video, because after watching this video you will be able to design a basic tablet formulation, because it is a myth or concept that the tablet formulation or designing the formulation for tablet is the job for R&D specialist. Mean only research and development department persons can design a formulation for the tablet, but as a professional or being a pharmacist, everyone must be familiar that how we can design a prototype formulation for the tablet. So in this video we will discuss with the practical example, and after watching this video you will be able to design any basic formulation or a prototype formulation for the tablet. So now let's start our video. To design any formulation for the tablet, an extensive knowledge of the active pharmaceutical ingredients and raw materials or excipients is required, and for this everyone must be familiar that the most commonly used of excipient classes for tablet formulation are the diluents, binders, disintegrants, glidants, lubricants, colorants. But most importantly, we will discuss here a brief about what are the excipients, because if you are not familiar with these excipients and the examples of these excipients, you will not be able to select an excipient, or you will not be able to design a formulation for the tablets. So what are the diluents? Diluents are the excipients. These are also known as fillers or bulking agents, and these are used to make up the bulk volume or final volume. How to use for making up the bulk volume? Your concept will be cleared at the end, where we will discuss the practical example. So the examples of diluents are lactose, dextrose, mannitol, microcrystalline cellulose. Next one are the binders. What are the binders? Binders are the excipients which are added in the powder formulations to give cohesiveness, to convert the powders into granules. There are three types of the binders: natural, synthetic and semi-synthetic. If you want to learn details of all these excipients, must visit the playlist excipient on this channel to learn the details, but here we will only discuss the brief overview. So the examples of binders are the gums, gelatin, starch. These are the some common examples of the binders, or Collidone or HPMC. Next one are the disintegrants. Disintegrants are the excipients which are added in the tablet formulation to break down the tablet into small fragments to release the drug. Next one are the glidants. Glidants are the excipients which are used to promote the flow. They reduce the interparticle friction and enhance the flow. Example is talcum or aerosol, which is the colloidal silicon dioxide. Next one are the lubricants. Lubricants are added to prevent the friction or to reduce the friction between the product and machine parts, and they are used to prevent the sticking, and common example is the magnesium stearate. So what is the aim of tablet formulation, or what should be in our mind when we are going to design a tablet formulation? Mean how our formulation will be considered successful. The basic aim of any formulation is to ensure that our final product must meet the pharmacopoeial specifications or requirements, and for the tablets, our all the results for the assay, content uniformity, weight variation, dissolution, disintegration and fiability must comply with the specifications. Mean if we develop a basic formulation for the tablet and all the pharmacopoeia requirements for that tablet are meet, then our tablet formulation is successful. The next one is that our formulation must be robust and good enough to ensure the good processing properties. Mean, if we talk about the granules, our final product must have the good flow properties, and there should be trouble free compression and coating. Mean, we should not have any issue during the tablet compression and tablet coating process. And next one is that our required hardness must be achieved. So these are some basic requirements or aims, or these are the considerations which we must keep in mind before designing our formulation for the tablet. So there are basically 6 main pillars of our prototype formulation for the tablet. One thing to remember is that I am recording this video for just a simple and prototype formulation on the basis of my expertise and knowledge. You may have many other different examples to design a formulation, but this one is to make you expert to just design a basic or prototype formulation. So 6 main basic pillars of the prototype tablet formulation are the API, diluent, binder, disintegrant, glidant, and lubricant. And to get the result from this prototype formulation is that our assay must be within range, our tablet disintegration time must be within range, our dissolution profile must be within range, content uniformity must be within the range, friability must be passed, required hardness must be achieved, there should be no capping, sticking, lamination, and there should be no any defect related to the tablet compression. And in the same way, after tablet compression, our coating process must also be the trouble free. So after having a brief overview, now the common and simple question is that how to design a tablet formulation. For this, first of all, we must have to select a method for the tablet manufacturing. Mean, either we want to select the wet granulation method, dry granulation method, or the direct compression method. We will take the practical example here, and we have selected the wet granulation method for the tablet manufacturing or for our formulation. And after selecting the method for the tablet manufacturing, we must have to select which type of solvent we will use. Either we will use organic solvent or water. In this formulation, we will use the water as the solvent for the binder preparation. Now after selecting the method for tablet manufacturing and choosing the right solvent for our formulation, we must have to estimate that what will be the compression weight of the tablet. Suppose that we want to design a formulation for a tablet having active pharmaceutical ingredient 500 milligram, and now we will estimate that or determine that what will be the compression weight. So suppose that we select that our final tablet compression weight will be the 750 milligram. So 750 milligram will be the weight of active pharmaceutical ingredient plus all the excipients. Mean, the weight of all these 6 pillars will be the 750 milligram. Now we are familiar that 500 milligram is the API. So if we minus the value of API from the total compression weight, the answer will be 250 milligram. Mean, 250 milligram is the portion where we have to add the remaining 5 pillars of our prototype formulation, and now we will add these pillars in our formulation to design a good tablet prototype formulation. So suppose that our final weight was 750 milligram and 500 milligram is the quantity of API. Now we add 2% binder in our formulation, and the binder is Collidone or polyvinyl pyrrolidone or PVP. So when we take 2%, mean 2% of the total tablet compression weight. So 2% binder quantity mean our each tablet will contain 15 milligram of the binder. Now we want to add 4% of the disintegrant in our formulation. So 4% of 750 milligram is the 30 milligram. Now we want to add 1% glidant in our formulation, which one is the 7.5 milligram, and we want to add 1.2% of lubricant, which will be the 9 milligram. When we add all the excipients, the value of all these excipients will be 61.5 milligram, but we have to add 250 milligrams of the excipients. So what we will add next? Here will be the role of diluent. As we discussed earlier, diluents are used to make up the final bulk volume. So 188.5 milligram will be the quantity of diluent which we will add in our formulation per tablet. So for easy understanding, once again have a look over the practical explanation of the formulation, where we have the total tablet weight 750 milligram. Now we will minus each ingredient to get the value, which will be the value of the diluent mean to make up the bulk volume. So 750 milligram, we added 500 milligram of API. So 750 minus 500, now we added 15 milligrams of the binder. So minus 15 milligram minus 30 milligram quantity of disintegrant minus 7.5 milligram quantity of the glidant and minus 9 milligram will be the quantity of lubricant. So the final value after subtracting all the values from the final tablet weight will be the 188.5 milligram, and this will be the quantity of the diluent. We can add any type of the diluent in our formulation. Suppose we are using the active pharmaceutical ingredient Z and we take Colidone as a binder, we add sodium starch glycolate as a disintegrant, we add talc as a glidant, and we add magnesium stearate as a lubricant, and we use lactose plus starch for the diluent. Mean we can use half quantity of lactose and half quantity of starch as a diluent. So the total weight of the tablet will be the 750 milligram. One most important thing to remember is that all these calculations are for single tablet, mean these quantities of the API and excipients are for the single tablet. We can easily get the final batch size by multiplying it with the number of tablets which we want to manufacture. So after designing this prototype formulation, suppose that we manufacture 25 kg batch of this tablet, and at the granulation stage we conduct its assay, and then we take it for the compression and take the sample of the tablets and perform its disintegration, dissolution, content uniformity, friability, hardness, all the required tests. If all the required tests are within the specification, then our prototype formulation will be considered pass. And suppose that if the dissolution profile is low or disintegration time is prolonged, then our first trial will be failed, and then we will again work to improve this formulation. Mean we are familiar that if our disintegration is prolonged, its disintegrant quantity is low or either the concentration of binder is high, so we can add more disintegrants in the formulation, and again we'll take the sample for the analysis, and if all the results are within specification, our formulation will considered pass. So it was all about how to design a simple or prototype formulation for the tablets. I hope you are now familiar with the basics of the tablet formulation design, and if you want to read an article on this topic or you have any confusion, you can read the article. I will provide the link in this description. and you can visit my website farmandfarm.com to read more interesting article. If you like the video, share it to others. You can take the screenshot of this board, can zoom it for easy understanding. If you like the video, share it to others. Till the next video, Allah Hafiz.